I'm just gonna point and click. So, yesterday I published, one of my recordings, and I got a message back from YouTube saying that it was inappropriate, right? And it confused me a little bit. I was kind of blown by it. For one, because of the type of work that I put in. And to be able to receive a transmission and to be able to beacon it out to you, and save it to my repository. And someone at YouTube, or a group of people at YouTube, decided that it was inappropriate, right? And so what I'm gonna have to do now is go back and push the same content, but I'm gonna break it up into packets, right? I'm gonna fragment the information to try to pinpoint what was inappropriate, because all they said was it was inappropriate. Go check our policy. But I'm like, hold on, and this is a part of my appeal. I'm like, what did I say was inappropriate? Like, you just can't. I mean, you can, right? It's your toy. You know what I mean? I guess you can go home with it if you want. But my thing is that you have to tell me something. Tell me what was inappropriate about it. Because I don't, when I look at YouTube, I see all types of inappropriate information that's being broadcasted out. And my question was, inappropriate to who? Because it never went out to the people. I see if there was a rash of people that, came back and flagged my videos, and now YouTube, they have to look at it and make a decision on whether to flag it or not. It never made it out. So if it never made it out to the people, then who at YouTube, did I offend? Because I must have pushed a button to someone there. Something that I said pushed a button to one or two people, or whoever. Somebody blew the whistle. So it was you. Who was that masked man? Who was that masked woman? Or people who felt that it was inappropriate? Because I didn't curse. I didn't use any curse words. People curse all the time on YouTube. Mother ucker and bitch. I'm just going to speak the language. Bitch. Calling, people all types of bitches and niggas and homos and, homosexuals and all that. That's okay. Right? Guys, smoking weed, smoking drugs. Weed is still a drug. One way, however you want to look at it or not, it's still classified as a drug, just like alcohol is. Guys smoking weed, doing their lives, women cursing, calling this bitch this and this bitch that, witch hunts, against entertainers. I see all types of inappropriate content, and like I said, I didn't curse. I didn't offend someone's race, their creed, religion, way of life. I didn't do any of that. All I did was speak on a few topics. One was the coronavirus. I called it the CORONAWORM, based off of what we know in the field of technology and the maneuverability of the coronavirus. I said it's not a virus, it's a worm. Was it that? I said that humankind, may have to evolve from his and her current state, may have to evolve into something else. And I came up with some different efforts that are going on right now, for the push involving men and his next evolution? Was it that? What else did I say? I said that it was some information that was put out that the coronavirus is more responsive to people with the A minus, A plus, the A chromosome, A blood type, and not the O. Was it that? You know, I said that when it comes to the next evolution of mankind, humankind, the push, one of the efforts is man mixed with machine, man, and man and machine. Was it that? I said that another effort is the blending of the genders as the next evolution of humankind, and how I didn't agree with it because of the emotional aspects, you know, of it, and the emotional aspects and the chaos and confusion that it brings about. And emotion, you know, an emotional person in a logical world is a mismatch. It's not going to work. So that was the main reason I didn't agree with that. Was it that? I said that the other push for the next evolution of mankind and humankind is interracial mixing, and how you can see the effort on TV, and you can see the effort in your movies, you can see it in the commercials of the black woman mixing her seed with the Caucasian. And is that an attempt to preserve the, you know, the offspring? I mean, the mixing of the genders, the mixing of the and I'm losing my thought here. But to get back on track, I was saying the mixing of the races will, you know, that be the output from that, which is like a neutrinoid, which you don't know what race it is. You can't say it's black, you can't say it's Asian, you can't say it's Caucasian. It's a neutrinoid. You know, is the neutrinoid, is that the next evolution of humankind? Was it that? So those are the things that I spoke about. And what I'm trying to do is you know, do some critical thinking and try to figure out what buttons did I push that was inappropriate about that. Those were my topics. And it got flagged. Yet, you know, you can go on YouTube right now. They doing drugs. I seen one YouTube where the guy got shot. He was doing a YouTube. He got YouTube Live. He got shot during a broadcast, and it wasn't taken down. Why is that? That could have been looked at as inappropriate. That was okay though. To see a young black man outside doing a live and getting shot, it's okay to upload that. It's okay to be a coon. Now, if I was cooning, you know, and I was doing the whole vaudeville, Chitlin circuit thing, if I was cooning, that's probably okay, right? I can do that. It's not going to be a problem. It's not going to get taken down. But because I spoke about things, and I spoke outside the box, and I was thinking outside the box, it pushed somebody's button, and they came up with the idea that it was inappropriate content. And so what I'm gonna have to do is fragment those topics instead of making them all a part of one live. You know, I'm gonna have to fragment it out so that we can sift out what the problem was. And during one of my fragments or one of the packets of information that I send out, if it gets flagged for being inappropriate, then that way we'll be able to, you know, figure out what the nemesis was to the person that wanted to flag my video at YouTube. And like I said, you know, it wasn't because of the people. I do this for the people, right? I'm doing this for the people. I'm doing it for myself as well. I'm just sharing my thoughts. And if the people say it's inappropriate to them and it hurt their feelings, you know, they used to say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's Generation X. That's how we used to move around. You know, we could, you know, you could say what you want. You know, that's not gonna hurt me. That was the rhyme. That was the rationalization back then coming up as a kid. It wasn't the words, and we know that sticks and stones will break our bones, and we got to deal with that too. We didn't go tell it. We dealt with it, and more than and just based off of the signature of the reason why, you know, my broadcast was taken down. It's the signature of a millennial, and I'm not saying it was. Because, you know, you got some guys in Generation X, some girls in Generation X, they're sensitive. But we have more of a thicker skin. Because we're rebellious. We're part of the rebellion. We were children of the rebellion, right? So we're open to new thoughts and thinking against the grain. It's the signature of a millennial, because millennials, they can't take, they were not built and programmed to be able to take the wrath of what the world is putting out there. Those are the ones who went back home. See, when Generation X, when we was kids, we was like, man, under our moms and our dads, you know, jurisdiction. You know, we was like, man, I can't wait till I get out the house. I ain't never coming back. Like, we wanted to do our own thing. And for the most part, we never did go back. We slept on somebody's couch. We was like, whatever, I'm not going back because I don't want to be under that jurisdiction and those rules. And it was rightfully so that our parents had rules to the household. And we went on to have rules to the household. And if you don't like it, you get out, right? That's just how it goes. That's the world. They taught us the world. But the millennials, they came back home because they couldn't hack it, right? Not saying all of them, but that's the signature that was projected about the millennial, that they went out and tried life. They tried the whole, you know, trying to support the family and trying to make it on your own. And they couldn't hack it, and they went back home, man. They went back to the house. They would rather deal with the jurisdiction of moms and pops and of their parents than to try to make it out here on their own, right? And so the signature, the things that I told you that I spoke about, it pushed a button. Somebody was hurt by it. It wasn't sticks and stones. It was true words, true thoughts, true realizations. And they couldn't take it. And they flagged it. And that's the signature of a millennial. And I'm not saying all millennials, because you got some tough millennials out there. And during the Generation X, you had some millennial types, right? But it was either sink or swim if you came out as a millennial type. When it got tough, the tough got going. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. That was another saying that we had to grow up under that. When it get tough, you got to get it popping. You got to get it moving. And there are some millennials who are like that, right? But for the most part, the projection, I'm just looking at the projection, right? And I'm trying to sift out him or her who I hurt when I talked about the blending of the sexes as the next push to the evolution of humankind. Or when I talked about the corona worm, I called it the corona worm because viruses don't act like that. Like when and I compared it to technology, right? Because technology is man's creation. It's an offshoot of man. Just like man was a biological computerized offshoot of the gods, right? Of the intellect of the gods, right? And I said that you can learn a lot about humans through his creation. And I said that a virus, for the most part, is a creation in a computer virus. We're talking about computer viruses. They don't just pop up out of anywhere. They are created by those who want to disrupt the system. The computer system, the system of the internet, the technological system. And so they create viruses, and it's a type of malware. But worms are a type of malware too. And worms can propagate throughout a system and multiple systems because it has its own intelligence. It was born with the proper intelligence that would allow it to propagate through the different systems and through the different networks. You don't have to do anything for a worm to propagate. But for a computer virus, it has to be initiated by the user. And I said that the so-called coronavirus is propagating on its own, and it's infecting the biological systems known as humans on its own, right? Because it's intelligent. I didn't go as far as saying that it was created by man or created in the lab, but I'm just saying. And I said that people, processes, and things have a signature. Just like you have a heat signature that doesn't look like the signature of another person. You have a thumbprint, their fingerprints. That's your signature. When an artist puts a body of work together, there's a signature involved. And I said that you can try to look at where the worm came from based off of the signature, right? And when I looked at the word coronavirus, it said carnivorous. It's carnivorous. The lettering is transposed. I said that. I did that. Right? It's carnivorous. And carnivorous means animals that eat animals, right? And then they said that the virus / worm came from your wet markets in China, where they have all these different types of exotic meats and all different types of meats and seafoods, where people go to and they buy these things. They might buy monkey brain. You see what I'm saying? That's like your wet market. Bats. I seen them throwing bats on the grill out there in the wet market. So they was saying that that's where it started from, in that area of China. And so when you look at coronavirus, it's It's carnivorous. It's affecting the carnivorous species, right? It's not crossing over between animal. So you have to really think about this. You have to really look at these things. And I was looking for a signature. Is that what caused the person at YouTube to take down my video, right? What is it? What hurt you? You know, because we can, you know, that's where the healing begins, right? Because if we can figure out what hurt you, you know, we can talk about it, we can get to the bottom of it, and we can find a solution to it, and we can come to a common place. But you and I don't have to talk about it. Think